let us say that it started long time ago. Maybe you don't know, but Captain Cook, among his sailors, he had also an Italian, one of his crew members. And then, of course, in the 19th century, we had already a first wave of Italians who arrived, not a huge number, mainly in the state of Victoria. Then, after the First World War, when in Italy we had fascism, and after the First World War, there was a first wave of Italians arriving in Australia, but the vast majority of Italians who came to Australia was after the Second World War, in the 50s, in the 60s, and it was really, and it changed completely our relationship. And I would say today we have a very warm and cordial relationship, also due to the fact that we have over 1 million people of Italian descent. These are huge numbers. Consider that still now we have 150,000 people, more than 150,000 people with Italian citizenship. Therefore, I would say we have a very strong relationship because the Italians are very well integrated. They are still very attached to the Italian roots, but they also do feel Australians. It has been a real success story of integration. And the Italians have undoubtedly enriched this country, bringing the Italian quality of life, the food, the wine, the culture. And I would say it has been really a win-win experience for both, for Australians and Italians. It is an ever-growing economic relationship. Do consider the fact that today, among the European Union countries, Italy is the third trading partner of Australia after Germany, United Kingdom. And in the post-Brexit scenario, Italy will become the second trading partner of Australia. Our bilateral trade amounts to 4.1 billion euros. Our exports are going very well. We have more than 180 Italian companies, many newcomers as well, and we are doing very well in certain sectors related to machinery, equipment, energy, infrastructure, defense industry, and I will come later to this issue, consumer goods of high and medium quality, and also agro-industrial. The agro-industrial sector for us is very important. We have a huge complementarity of our two economies. Italy has still, this is something I would like always to remind, that Italy is the eighth economy in the world. And it has the second manufacturing economy in Europe, and it has the first economy in the Eurozone. And we have a very, as I told you, I mentioned you, a very strong manufacturing industry, and therefore I think it's the only sector where the Australians are not so strong. While you have a very strong economy, 26 years of unprecedented growth, very strong financial banking sector, it's really in our interest to strengthen our bilateral trade and also our reciprocal flow of investments. Then there's a second aspect I would like to highlight, that the Italian companies are very interested to establish here a regional hub, because Australia is in the center of the most dynamic, fast-growing economic area in the world, the Asian Pacific region. And therefore, there's an increasing number of Italian companies, especially medium and big ones, who are establishing their presence here. And this is also a Western country with Western values, high quality of life, and for Italian companies, it's, of course, a nice place to have here a presence. Therefore, I see only advantages in the long run. We are also looking forward to strengthen our bilateral flow of investments. We would like to attract more Australian investments to Italy. So this is already happening. We have important Australian companies arriving who already are present in Italy. I just mentioned Westfield. They are building a huge commercial center in Milan. Macquarie Bank, they made investments huge investments, over 1 billion euros in the field of renewable energies, land lease, and so on. I can give you also other examples. And there are many Italian companies who arrived here, who are, with, for example, Fiat Iveco, truck production, Ferrero, confectionery, Zegna, wool sector, and Mapei, ceramics, Enel Green Power, a very important company in the field of renewable energies. But I can give you many other examples. We are especially interested to strengthen our relationship in the forthcoming years in the field of infrastructures and in the defense industry, because these are two strongholds of the Italian manufacturing industry. The Australian friends underestimate the strong presence of the Italian economy here in Australia. As I told you, as I mentioned, we have a very strong bilateral relationship. So our bilateral trade, to give you an example, is stronger than the bilateral trade Australia has with France, the figures. And I think this due to the complementarity of our economies. Okay. The automotive industry, we have a very strong presence. Our sales of Maserati, Ferrari are going very well. Also our motorbikes. Let us start in saying that we are like-minded democratic countries. We do share the same values. We have a very close collaboration in the international forum, in the United Nations. We are both members of the global coalition against Daesh. In Syria and Iraq we are together. We were together in Afghanistan. We are both members of the G20. An increasingly important regional organization, and Italy is very aware that Australia rightly deserves to play an important role as a regional power. You have the 13th economy in the world, you have a very strong economy, and we do believe that your role in international politics, also in the field of defense, will become more and more important in the forthcoming years. Therefore, I would say that I see only very promising prospects to strengthen our relation. Concerning the Asian Pacific, we are, as you know, Italy is a member of NATO, but we are also very close. We have a partnership with NATO. We already were together in Afghanistan, and I do believe that also in the forthcoming years we will also strengthen our presence in the Asian Pacific region. Of course, we don't have a direct presence as we are not geographically located, but today, global threats of global security, this is a global problem. It's not anymore, you can't say that we are far away. It doesn't. For example, we have very close links now with many Asian countries, with China, with Japan, and with South Korea. Think about the build-up of the maritime Silk Road, the One Belt, One Road initiative. I would say that we are looking forward to strengthen our collaboration with Australia, also in the Pacific region, in the small, because we have, maybe not everyone knows, but Italy has always had a close collaboration with the small Pacific islands in the fight against climate change. We have very interesting regional programs for the promotion of renewable energies, and Italy has always played a very active role in supporting the interests of the small Pacific islands. And we know, of course, that Australia plays a very important role in the small Pacific. And we already have started we have always an exchange of view with Australia in how to deal with the small Pacific countries. Of course, we know that you know much more than us about the security issue in the Asian Pacific region. Therefore, and you are an ally of us.